Morning, gang. This one's inevitably going to get me in trouble and get the usual suspects coming on and slating me, so I'm going to be very careful about how I word this. Is white British culture and the white British nation in danger of disappearing? Let me give you some figures and let me know what your thoughts are. So, a report has come out which says that the white British person will be a minority in this country by, I think it's 2063, so just under 40 years' time. Another report, an official report, has come out regarding schooling in this country, and it says that in 72 schools in this country now, there are zero, white British pupils in those schools. In over 400, I think it's 430 other schools, there's 2% or less white British kids in those schools. And in 25% of all schools, white British children are now a minority. So I'm not going to say whether that's a good thing, whether that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's a thing. It's happening. White British people are gradually disappearing and becoming a smaller and smaller demographic within this country, which by its nature is a white British country and has a white British culture. Why am I saying white British? Why am I emphasising that part of it? Well, because that is the history of the country. As I say, I'm not saying whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, not going there at all. And many people of other ethnicities and other skin types consider themselves to be British, are British, play a full part in British life and British culture. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. So please don't attack me saying I'm trying to be racist here. I'm not. I'm just pointing out statistical facts. And those facts are that by 2063, white British people will be a minority in this country, that there are 72 schools that have no white children in them, no white British children in them, that in over 400 other schools, it's less than 2%, and in 25% of all schools, they're a minority. What that means is that white British culture is slowly going to disappear. What is white British culture? Is there such a thing? Well, clearly there is, because it's a culture, it's about traditions, it's about language, it's about literature, it's about music that has developed over centuries. We don't dispute the fact that other groupings have their own culture. So black Caribbean people have a culture. What do you think the Notting Hill Carnival is every year? It's a celebration of their culture, and good luck to them. Other groupings, whether that's religious groupings or whether it's ethnic groupings, have their own culture. It might be Latino, it might be East Asian, it might be Asian, it might be whatever it could be. We accept and don't argue with the fact that these groups have their own culture and should be able to celebrate their culture. And I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. But why is it then so difficult to accept, and why is it apparently racist to try to say that white British people have a culture as well, and that is disappearing in their own country? Surely we can see that that is a damaging thing to happen. Surely we can see that most other countries, most other nationalities, most other ethnic groups would either not accept that or would be complaining vociferously about that if that was happening to them. So why is it a problem that British people, white British people, have a genuine concern that they're effectively being slowly eradicated from their own country and losing their own cultural identity? Why is that racist when, if it were to happen to other groups, it wouldn't be racist? I don't understand that, and I can't get my head around that. And I don't understand why we get accused of being racist when we express concerns about the direction of travel, yet other groups are happy and celebrated for having their own culture and wanting to celebrate that culture. It doesn't make any sense to me. So are you aware of those facts? Are you aware that if you are a person like me living in the UK, in Britain, England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, wherever it might be, that within less than 40 years you will be a minority in your own country, and therefore your culture will be a minority in your own country? Are you aware that there are 72 schools spread across the country that have zero white English or white British people in them? Are you aware that there's well over 400 schools where that number is less than 2%? Are you aware that in 25% of all of the schools, 25%, they're a minority? Surely those figures are shocking. And surely discussing that change, discussing the rate of change, discussing what that could lead to, what the causes of it are, doesn't inherently make you racist. Discussing facts and raising facts surely is just discussing facts and raising facts. And as I say, I have no problem with other groups celebrating their cultural identity, being proud of their cultural identity. Good luck to them. That is the way it should be. But why is it then a problem if we feel the same? Can anyone explain that to me? And please don't just condemn me. I've tried to be as fair-handed about this as I possibly can. Try to explain my thought process. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know whether you agree. Let me know whether you disagree. If you do disagree, then please try and explain why you disagree rather than just slating me or throwing names at me. But those are the facts.